Hello, now you should potentially some sound here. Hello, now you should potentially some sound here. Well, that's just going to get confusing. I'm going to have to go back to my studio. There we go. So the mute button works, Elaine. I think the way that I'm going to try and do this is to have essentially me doing some talkings, and then at some point, did I just break the stream? Hi Ewan, hi Elaine. Then I've got clean feed open and we tested it earlier, and it should be the case that if I can get somebody in on clean feed, then you can come and talk. That was a nope that the stream didn't break then. Well, I tell you what's confusing, seeing myself a few seconds ago talking in this window. So what I'm going to do is have that there, and then if I have that there... Well, this is all very new and confusing, isn't it? I'll show you some of the stuff in my Eurovision room. Elaine's already seen this, and I think I've probably put a lot of this on Instagram already. The Kiev cushion. Yeah. Basically I make these nice patches with the Eurovision logos on for each year. What's for later reference, Ewan? So I make these nice logo patches, and they go on the back of a big silver jacket that I wear because it shows up very nicely on TV cameras. And then once the Eurovision is over and done with, they get put onto lovely cushions. So you just saw Kiev, Lisbon, and for fun, let's have a look. The silver jacket's here with the Israel logo on it, and let's go. It lights up! Yes, Ewan, I'm already using OBS. That's what's going on. Not quite sure of the utility of having it flashing, but it is now cool. And just because it's now full of electronics, I don't think I can actually take it through security into the arena, so it's probably all right that I'm not going. The whole point of this essentially was to talk about the songs we were really missing from our national finals that aren't going to be coming with us to the contest. I think, could I have a hand up from somebody who wants to come on Clean Feed and talk about their favourite national final song that hasn't quite made it? I'm already well into having had a lot of songs that don't make it. I've now got a whole playlist. Let's have a look at what you could have won, which is songs that won't be coming with us to Tel Aviv. It seems at this point unreasonable that we're not going to get Electric Fields on the big show in May. And then there's stuff where I can understand how it didn't get there, but it's sad, like Raven's song in Slovenia and Ohulos from Estonia. And like there's stuff in here that didn't even get to the televised rounds, like Alligator in Latvia. and Potato Acapulco in Belarus. I mean, the fact that we're not going to get Potato Acapulco is just... Oh! Right. No volunteers to come on and talk about their favourite national final songs that haven't made it yet. Bit of a shocked Yonola face going on here. I'll show you some of the other stuff that's going on in the room here. So you can see up here, these are memory boxes from the previous contests that I've been to. It's very hard just to keep talking. I'm glad I'm not doing this like in a high pressure format. These streamers, they really know what they're doing. So Ewan is going to come on and talk to us about national final season, and I'm just sending him a link right now that will let him join us. It's gone to his Facebook Messenger. There we go, he's connecting. Marvellous. Hi Ewan.
Hey!
Hi, welcome to a very raggedy attempt at live streaming. National final season,
Let's do this!
Yeah, let's do this, but in a sort of a weary Saturday morning mode.
Okay, hold on, I need to mute...
You need to mute the stream now, Ewan, because you're on it.
Yep. How's that?
That's good. I can no longer hear you going, let's do this, infinitely echoing in the background.
Yay!
It's like this every year, isn't it, Ewan? We fall in love with songs and then we end up with them just lying on the floor, not going to the competition in the end.
I have a spreadsheet a year. It's not as complicated as yours, but it roughly works out as 9,000 to 10,000 songs are submitted across the countries every year, and one of them wins. At some point along the way, every other song loses.
Let's not go with lose. Let's go with does not proceed.
Let's go with win, actually, because I think that's what I did in my article in 2011. Because they get more exposure, they get more fans. If you believe in Seth Goodin's 1,000 True Fans theory, they get a jump start to their career. Who would have heard anybody from the national finals here in the UK without these national finals?
Exactly. For like Zala and Gaspar in Slovenia, they entered their national final just to get that little bit more exposure and the sort of small amount of very keen international exposure that a national final can give you, and they've accidentally ended up going to Eurovision where they're going to get 200 million viewers for their music. So,
well, they're going to do the semi-finals, so they're going to get about 20 million.
Oh, they're going to qualify.
In that case, they're going to get about 80 million.
They're going to qualify. It's going to be fine.
Yeah, okay, 200. Oh, I'm getting about a 2-second delay in my audio, and I have no idea how to fix it. So I might stop and start slightly. It's at my end.
Okay.
But that's okay. I can focus and ignore the voice in my head.
Okay, so we've got, as now joining us, we've got Karina and Charlene. Hiya! And Elaine says that getting to Eurovision is already a win for national finals, and the goal isn't necessarily to triumph, but to get international exposure. It's true.
Yep, look at Alvesh and getting the invite to Vakken last year.
Yeah, they would have been nowhere near Vakken without Eurovision.
For at least 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
If everything lined up correctly.
Yeah. By which time they could have already split up.
Oh, let's not think that.
Ewan, have you restarted to kill the voice in your head?
No, it's because I'm using a different laptop. I'm just going to focus hard.
Have there been any that you felt the loss keenly of this year so far? I think the first big one that upset people was was not getting electric fields from Australia. But for me, like, I wasn't quite like about it. Because I had three that I would have been equally happy with from Australia. I would have been equally happy with Shepherd, Zero Gravity, or Electric Fields. And actually, listening back to the songs more after the Australia Decides concert, Leah Nanos's song has really popped out at me. It sounds incredibly Scandinavian, but I just wouldn't send a 16-year-old to Eurovision, however good the song was.
I think the most important thing in all of that, actually, is the strength of the Australian national final, because the one that stuck with me is Mark Vincent.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't have any duds, really.
Probably Mark Vincent is not more pictured. I was expecting something a little bit more older looking.
You've gone a little bit glitchy on your audio, Ewan. I don't know whether it's just me or whether it's actually coming through.
Okay, try that. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Ah, you're fine now.
Okay.
Yeah, Karina says that the Electric Fields was the big one for her. Yeah, I don't think... Yeah.
As Shepherd, I think, for me, listening back, thinking again, it's Shepherd. I think they had a better chance.
Do you know, sometimes you're okay on Clean Feed, Ewan, and sometimes you are absolutely breaking up.
Yeah, I think it's trying to...
It's trying to do a thing, isn't it? Charlene, yeah, that is totally right. Give Leah a couple of years. Yeah, it's absolutely kickstarted her career. She's come out of basically absolutely nowhere. She's come out of the depths of YouTube. A fully formed pop star. Nice. You can't complain about that. And SBS did not expect Electric Fields to go so hard. But that's like, I think the first time I watched some Electric Fields performances on YouTube, it was a bit like the first time I'd watched some Netta performances on YouTube. There was obviously something incredibly charismatic there. And whatever happened, they were going to come up with something pretty amazing. And I just don't think SBS expected them to be able to put on quite such a show with basically 50 quid for some background graphics and a new head wrap for Zachariah. Anyway, while Ewan's rebooting, I'm going to show you... so you've seen the silver jacket already. Way! The silver jacket is going to get some extra stuff on it this year. There's going to be... Ooh, Dare to Dream, Dare to Glow. There's going to be patches. I've been collecting cool patches from Eurovision relevant... Well, that sort of suggest Eurovision relevant themes and general themes connected with this year. I'll show you my first one. Don't panic. There's still quite a few songs left. There's still some extremely exciting national final songs still very much in play. I reckon it'll be fine. Oh, more Australia chat coming here from Charlene. Everybody's bonded well, everybody's hanging out together in Melbourne, projects in the near future. Electric Fields featuring Courtney Act is a tasty morsel. So even though we won't be having Electric Fields here, I've got my First Nations patch here, which arrived from Australia this morning. That's going on the jacket. Denmark are selecting tonight. So the big favourite is the League of Light, the song with the verses in Greenlandic, or is it the chorus? Some part of it is in Greenlandic. And viewers in Greenland will be able to watch the show and vote. So it's going to be a bit like when there's a Scottish act on X Factor, but redialing. So here we've got, there we go. Bit of a Greenland going on. Next week, and possibly also, oh yeah, he's already gone direct to final. We will have some Sami representation as well. So we've got a Sami patch for the jacket. Woo! And then we've got the sort of the blue corner. San Marino, Kosovo, Scotland, Iceland. Karina, who is Julie Bertelsen? Oh, Kazakhstan as well, just for fun. Because they're not here this year, but they're going to be here next year. So that's the patches for the jacket. I think if I'm going to do this again, I'm definitely going to have somebody to talk to me, because it does feel very strange talking to myself. And I'm just going to make faces into the camera.
Clean feed, 1 2 1 2.
Hi, Ewan. We just got to the point where I was threatening to make stupid faces. Hi, Ewan. We just got to the point where I was threatening to make faces. Mute something, Ewan. Mute something.
Okay. Why are my headphones muted? Could you say something, please?
I'm pretending I'm Yonola. Your votes have been counted and verified, and I'm terrified. Elaine says that we could have... Oh, right, okay. The tea on Julie Bertelsen. She first appeared on Pop Stars in the early 2000s, came second, and then carved a music career. So, where's Julie Bertelsen from? Is she the one that's from Greenland? And Elaine is very correct that we could have had a fantastic Kazakh song coming in via the Belarusian route, but the Belarusians have decided, I think all of this, despite them having a very international audition stage, I think everything in the Belarusian national final is Belarusian, I think. But, so that's a bit of a shame. Yeah, Kazakhstan will get in somehow. Julie Bertelsen, very mainstream and beloved in Denmark, on TV a lot. But does the annual... Okay, so... Oh, boring. Belarus are not going to do an Estonia though. Oh, of course, yeah. Belarus are not going to do an Estonia though, and have have a generic Swede represent them. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Xena for Belarus, right? They've got 100% jury selection, so they can essentially. It's a televised internal selection. Let's be honest. And Charlene, right. So I'm going to be out watching Macbeth tonight instead of watching all of the national finals. So I will be seeing a bit of a bloodbath. I will be seeing Burnham Forest move on Dunsinane. And yes, I expect to come back to a catastrophic scene when Marov doesn't actually get the Ukrainian ticket and they send Freedom Jazz. And Freedom Jazz... I'm unclear on Ukrainian maternity leave. Who was that? Was that you?
That was me.
Hi, Ewan. You're here.
Yes, I'm mostly here.
You're mostly here. Have you got your delay?
Yeah. My mic monitor's now been... Okay, right, I can cope with that.
Okay. Ewan.
Hey, how are you with me? Can you follow me?
Is Xena going to be winning in Belarus?
Yes. There's let's be honest here. She was absolutely wonderful on the ground. Charlene will remember meeting her as well. She could have held that national fight in that final. all of Junior Eurovision herself completely. She's utterly competent, and it would not surprise me that she goes through with Belarus. We're very happy with that.
Yeah, I mean, she's very televisual. That audition performance looked basically ready for the national final, if not ready for the Eurovision stage. The song is basically the only sort of fresh, modern thing in the Belarusian national final. But yes.
It is Belarus.
It is Belarus.
We're never going to send that.
No. It's sad, though, that the live auditions might not be around next year. I mean, like, it's a long time till next January. But it would be very sad if we're only down to Moldova with the televised gong show.
Again, because then we wouldn't have had potato if Belarus hadn't had their open auditions.
Potato, Acapulco.
That's how you know in the press room if people follow national finals or not.
If people really follow the national finals.
Yeah, if you say potato to someone and they say Acapulco, it's like a secret handshake.
Yeah. When shall we discuss Eurovision again? When the hurly-burly's done, when the national finals lost and won. Eurovision Shakespeare, I think there's something.
Verona.
Oh dear. Yes.
Look to camera, frown.
An epic tragedy.
In 3 minutes.
Yes. What are we potentially losing tonight in terms of fan favourites then? I've not got my spreadsheet open. Excuse some keyboard sounds. La la la.
Well, I think tonight we lose Maru.
Yeah, so the Freedom Jazz thing, they won't have the massively pregnant lady dancing gimmick in May.
Nope.
So it just becomes another retro-styled, slightly dodgy swing tune in May.
You know my feelings on who I want to win this one.
Well, you're just not going to get it, though.
Yeah, I know, I don't. That's the life of somebody who follows national finals. I'm not going to get Houston going through.
No, they... How are they making it last 4 hours, by the way? Is it a lot of interval acts?
Surely somebody's going to have a blarney, the judges stand up, go head to head. There's an emergency London Martin sketch.
Everybody has to prove that they are sufficiently Ukrainian and that they regret ever performing in Russia.
Yep.
So, yes, Hungary, Ukraine, Denmark and Lithuania tonight. I've really not been keeping up with Lithuania. What is going to be the big loss from Lithuania tonight? Or is it fairly safe?
Either, so
What kind of experts are we if we don't follow Lithuania? We could do without...
You don't have endurance?
Karina, where did you have to go?
So tempted to go to Berlin last night. I was in London. I could have got an EasyJet.
Oh, you could have gone. I don't think you could have changed the result, though. No.
Which is Germany going utterly safe. It's the one song that didn't come out of the German song camp. That's the thing I find unusual.
It came out of the Swiss song camp, though.
Yeah, and have we done the Sisters in Zipstroke yet?
I've seen it widely. Gosh, though, like from a couple of potential top fives to something that didn't make the Swiss selection is ooh dear.
I mean, it could go either way, couldn't it? It could be Switzerland going, "See, we told you," or it could be Germany going, "See, we told you," like Denmark in a moment like this.
Yeah, Swisters, yes. I thought that we were going to see the return of Juicy Pappy in Hungary. It's not as intensely beautiful as Origo, but you know, he got them a top 10. They're liable to send him again.
And I suspect after last year, MTVA want a song that they actually are happy to send. I think, you know, they got AVS. They probably didn't want that band to go through. In the end, they got a very good result, and all's well and fine. But
yeah,
they're going to have a little bit more control this year.
Yeah, they're not going to let something that could potentially win the televote through to the super final. Good God, no. They're going to do their sums a bit better.
I think last year, though, did they not have Leander Kills and AVS, so they had to choose one or the other to go out in the first and then hope that the other one would last second?
Yeah, I think they couldn't quite get rid of all of the bands that they couldn't control.
Yeah, so they had to choose one that they would try and get rid of in the super final.
Yeah.
And they thought that the louder, screamier, punkier.
And they just did not estimate the power of the metal fraternity.
No, everybody, just in 2006, and all the bulletin boards went, one of ours is up, we need to make sure.
Yeah.
Happened again.
Yeah. So, Monica Maria, this deal with her having 2 songs in the final, I thought it was very irregular, her having 2 songs in the competition to begin with. But they seem to be quite willing to allow stuff to just make way for her. Is Light On that good?
Well, compared to Criminal, yes, but no. I mean, Lithuania have a Wednesday night finals to make sure that the bands can still perform on the weekend and earn their money. And I don't know what to make of the amount of rounds, because it ends up not being about the song, it ends up being about the celebrity. I think this is what Germany did so well. We didn't hear the songs until, 36 hours before at best? And they were all intensely fresh, so we were voting as if we were the rest of the continent in Europe voting for the songs for the first time. Lithuania just creates this slog where you can build up momentum. San Marino has the same issue as well. So I don't think they can actually judge the song in Lithuania.
No, I mean, it's basically like voting for a Big Brother winner at this point.
Yeah, I mean, there are ways around that. Romania dilute the televote. And also, there's not a lot of televotes as well.
Let's not go there again.
We've never had Eurovision Romania. We've not been there to not go back again. But the thing there is, about 400 or 500 televotes win it. So if you've got a fan base of 1,000, you can tilt that televote and upset the competition. The idea that you reduce the televote a little bit and then put a little bit more to the juries is a sensible idea. There are multipliers on the jury and the televote. That was where the issue was. Malta had the same thing a couple of years ago as well. It used to be 1/8 to televote and 7 juror members getting the same each other. And then they moved it to 50-50 and then they stopped qualifying.
Well, I thought that the German way round of doing it, of having the jury, the demoscopic panel, and then the televote all having equal weight, I thought that was quite good until they went for Sisters. But, you know, it worked last year, and I expect Sisters to get an equally baffling result. It doesn't do anything for me. Apart from remind me of Her Story.
Sisters didn't win the fans, but it won the international made up from former Eurovision jurors and the televote. You look at what Germany had last year. Michael Schulte didn't really pop up on the fan radar. And when he did, it was a case of, it's that German one. But it got 4th. Yeah. 2 more points, it would have got 3rd.
Yeah,
Germany knows the macro game.
Yeah, it's going to get a great result. It's not artistically interesting, but it's going to get a great result.
Yeah, and they can recycle props. Because Australia doesn't need that turntable in again. But we'll make it a square and not a circle this time.
Well, you don't want to be accused of copying, do you? Good God.
No. You can work on the camera angles. You've got the rest of the team backing up. If you're looking for we'd like to have a good competition. We'd like to have another couple of songs in the mix that can do very well, that look great. Germany's standing up going, you can make us look really well.
Yes, they don't really do anything. They did actually, they made Isaiah look pretty good on that turntable, even though he was wearing a weird dressing gown thing.
Michael Rice would make Isaac look on that turntable.
Oh, God.
We lost Jordan Clark. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing.
I can't think about the UK right now. So Light On as an accidental winner. Is it too early to do a route to victory?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we've only got 12 songs now. No, 14 songs now. 16 by the end of tonight or so.
Yeah.
So we're only a third.
Yeah, I can't even do a route out of a semi-final. There's just not enough songs out.
Yeah. We hadn't heard Toy at this point last year.
No.
We knew Netta was there. We kind of thought something was going to happen. And then the first I heard Toy, like, okay, so Ellie likes this.
But, yeah. It was a weird weekend of leaks, because we also got the Macedonian song leaked that weekend, didn't we?
Yep, and we thought that was in with a good chance.
Well, no, what we actually thought was, what are they going to do to ensure that this doesn't qualify, because that's a high tariff manoeuvre.
They're just going to go to this fashion police in Macedonia and go, give us something.
Put Michael Rice on the turntable, then slowly speed it up over the course of the song.
That sounds like a John Peel manoeuvre.
What about we also slowly speed up the song over the course of the song? Just imperceptibly.
But isn't that the mark of a good song? That you start low, you start with your emotions low, and you bring it to the ball, and then you accelerate. The British song already does that.
It's all right. Do you think that so I've heard some people say that they think that Bigger Than Us is actually better than John Lundvik's song in Melfest. I mean, I've not heard enough of that because nobody's heard more than a minute of it. But maybe John Lundvik gave Bigger Than Us away to the UK because he thought that his song for Melfest suited him better and he connected with it better. Because as Charlene says, the personal connection with the song is also important.
Which was kind of lacking in almost every song in Germany last night. Bigger Than Us, I think, has one issue. If it was a Danish song, or even a Melfest song, and it had won Melfest, we'd be looking at it in the top 10, top 5. It's the fact that we've been burned by the BBC before. If you're looking for an accidental winner, and you took the country names off the song, surely Bigger Than Us would be in that this could be an accidental.
Why is it because of the promotional aspects that we are? Yeah, okay. Yeah,
BBC the fact will promote the UK viewing. That's all really they can do by license.
The fact that they've not got the national final songs out yet. Shouldn't. The national final songs. If you're going to put them on Spotify ever, have it before the national final, maybe.
And that's why I think I had this blind spot with Bigger Than Us. As a song on its own, it's a pretty competitive song. It hits the demographic. It reached MOR. It's got jury notes. It's got televote appeal from the Nans going, oh, that's nice. But it's, I think you said in your article on Insight yesterday about Italy, the song is only 50% of the game. So if everybody else wins at 49%, your 50% song can win. But we know that there are countries out there that are putting in a lot more effort.
Mickey Rice isn't top 5 on stage. Yeah, I wonder how much coaching is going on and how much of that coaching involves... Michael, keep your eyes open. Look at the camera.
Michael, don't reset your Twitter password. We're not telling it to you.
Oh.
It's a question actually for Siri. If you look back at that Vice article that was written about Siri's time representing the UK... didn't get the feeling that there was this great big training routine warm-up program for it. It was just turn up for these previews, turn up at the airport, we'll fly to Eurovision.
Yeah, whereas even Serhat is ensconced in a hotel somewhere with backing dancers putting together something incredible.
And really, he's just going to stand there and go, I've got a hat.
Serhat is just going to stand there and go, I'm Europe's daddy. But
Yep.
I'm,
And that's your promotional giveaway. It's a hat.
I'm starting to think that Serhat could qualify. I mean, I know this means I've just gone too far inside baseball, but I'm starting to think that Serhat could qualify.
We haven't heard the song. In the same way you can't say John Ludwig. You can't say that about Serhat. Sorry.
No, just he's got an energy this year. a confidence. Mind you, he had a confidence in 2016, and look where that got him.
Yeah. What else have we got? I mean, talking about training, you would assume that Mahmood is going to be rehearsing a huge amount. Bilal, yeah.
I'm kind of curious about what Italy are actually going to put on stage, because their staging has been a bit weak.
I think RAI and the team there would probably, first of all, be ensuring that Mahmood is comfortable with the whole Eurovision thing before they go into small details.
Yeah.
There's internal and there's external influences to deal with there. They've got to make sure he's comfortable with the external stuff before they can start looking at, right, where do you want to stand on stage? Do you want to stand? Do you want to run? Do you want to dance? Do you want people with you? Do you not want people with you? Do you want lots of lights? Do you want a single pin?
He's got a lot of words to get in, as an Italian artist always does. But I really like the imagery from the video. But they're not going to let him sit and do Soldi in the back of a 70s car in Eurovision. Are they?
Classic chic. I was going to say classic chic Italian, but that kicks over an anthill. Why wouldn't you have a car? Why can't you have that as a prop? Why couldn't you have it even as a projection or something?
It seems like something that would have been like. Why hasn't anybody had a car on stage? We've had Sebastian Tellier's golf cart.
Did we have
Elaine's Elaine's gone for Where It Hurts. Serhat still did considerably better than Greta Salome. Why do you have to go there, Elaine? But yeah, no cars.
Cars on stage. No, it was cats, not cars, from that bad Belgium Elvis thing. There was this car on stage at SD Lau's recap of the operatic version of Stig and Alina.
De Vet Do would have needed a car if they accidentally ended up going to Eurovision after a meteor knocks out all of Andre Chanson and the final. I think that a car. So when we're doing the Strictly podcast, we talk about where there are some routines for which you have to close down the performance area. Like for a rumba, you need to make the floor a lot smaller than it actually is, so that you can make the most of your performance. And I think a car might be quite good if you have the kind of song that would benefit from a smaller performance. But it does contravene that rule of putting a big barrier between yourself and the audience.
Or you could turn it round and go, cars and status and money, that's not what Mahmood wants on stage. So you have it on the back of the stage,
but
walks forward and leaves it.
The car in the Soldi video is not about status and money. The car is like it. So the sort of the second half of the Soldi video is young Mahmood witnessing like the dad character saying goodbye to the mum character, and young Mahmood is sat in the back of the car, and older Mahmood is sat also in the back of the car performing. So it's like the car is a memory.
I've got your LED screens back there. Ghost car.
Ooh, well.
The Italians can sometimes nail their presentation and sometimes get it completely wrong. And there's no rhyme or reason to it.
Yeah, it very much depends on who turns up for the ideas meeting on the day.
Yeah, I think the only time they've really got it is Raphael Golazzi, who just went, I do jazz. We'll have a jazz band.
Well, you can't really go far wrong there, can you?
Yeah, we'll have a piano and upper tip playing piano. That's it.
Yeah.
What else have Italy got absolutely nilled on right in terms of staging at Eurovision?
Yeah, but I mean, going back to the absolute disaster that was Occidentalis Karma,
there we go. There's a car on stage. It's a car crash, but it's a car.
Hi, Elliot. What national final loss are you feeling very keenly? We were just talking about whether it's okay to have a car on stage in Eurovision. I wonder if a car might be similarly taboo as a horse in your video.
Well, certainly. Oh, my mind is going blank. I'm just not into the game. Skip, next.
Oh, Makeda. Yeah, that's one of the top 5s that Germany threw away yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, out of 7 songs, they had 5 top 5s.
Oh, well. A nice reverse on a break. Oh, yeah.
Down there.
I still really like Demons, even though it is objectively a stupid song and impractical to send to Eurovision. I didn't think Ali looked very happy with her staging, especially like the frock reveal. Didn't think she looked comfortable in her leotard.
I got the feeling through the whole German show was that they forgot they were on television. Everything seemed to have the size and movement that you needed to be in a theatre to communicate with people at the back of the auditorium. So large movements, emotion through the arms, not much in the face. But then everything was on TV and everything really close up. So it lost any chance of subtlety in any of the songs.
Demons West End stage show song. Yeah, a sort of a deep cut from the Bat Out of Hell musical or something.
Oh, that was so over the top. Did you ever see it?
The Bat Out of Hell musical, no.
Yeah. Oh, it was the BBC doing Eurovision. There was a motorbike, there was a crash, and the motorbike was on wires, so it mannequin puppeted out into about 100 different bits of motorbike engine that flew around the stage.
Alarming. There's not been a motorbike on stage at Eurovision either. I'm just gonna keep at this until somebody puts a car on stage at Eurovision and we can see whether it works or not.
I'm just literally going through my head trying to sit and think, have we had any prop like that? Well, yeah, we've got France, we've got the golf buggies.
I just wonder if... No, I mean, we've had bigger, ridiculous things on stage than a car before. Bus stop but no bus. Those Insubstantial Blues.
Oh, I love that song. I still love that song.
Yeah. How did that make it through Adal? That wouldn't have made it through Adal this year. A lady.
Then you would have said that AVS would have got through Adal in 2 years ago.
Yeah. Oh, well, a giant stapler. If Sarah Alto can have her ridiculous rotating balcony, then somebody can have a car.
I mean, we've had the apricot stone tree.
Yeah, ridiculous props.
That thing on Cypress and Firefly.
I'm coming up for the hour on Common Limits. We're going along a road, just not in a car. Oh, I can't wait for Ilse to beat Waylon's.
Now, if you want that's the song we would quite like to win that we'd all be happy with. Frozen 2.
We get to go to the Netherlands. I get to spend a lot of time in Hema. We get a sense of poetic justice, a nice singer, a victory for the voice. Nothing beats Svetlana's Hell Machine that she mortgaged a house to build, and then what? No, to suspend from the ceiling in Moscow. Elliot, I don't think Waylon. No, we're not going to mention him. He just doesn't exist. We're just Team Ilsa. I don't think Sergei's going to get stupid over-egged staging this year. I reckon they're just going to let him stand and emote in a pin spot.
What's going to happen if Sergei's song comes out and the collective reaction is, that's a dud ballad?
I think it's going to be syrupy, like a heroic ballad with a symphony orchestra.
3 Minutes to Earth. Did they have an automotive prop? I know they had a parachute.
It was like a big hang glider thing.
Yeah, but did they have other stuff as well?
Roko's staging is just going to be absolutely stupid. I mean, it's going to be my friend times 3. My friend.
He's got 3 bits of his face. Forward camera, left camera, and right camera.
It's just going to be an endless cube of wings and Rokos.
Laventa might not even have anything. They might just do the whole thing in the audience.
I would love that. Do you know, if we're talking about accidental winners, if we end up with a really downbeat, dour feeling final and Lavender ends up 20th to 24th, maybe. Just maybe.
Yep, but we're at 14, we'll be at 16 or 17, so lots to go.
Yeah, lots to go. I mean, maybe somebody has something and they've just not been saying it. Maybe Ireland's got something. Anything could happen. And
Ireland, you've got Austria.
On that
Netherlands.
fantastical note, I'm going to say goodbye. I'm going to switch to the graphic and end the stream. Thank you for coming on, Ewan. This has been Ellie's National Final Breakdown.